Hey there, friend. Welcome back to Daily Dose Radio here in the Bible Bistro. Would you come on in here and sit down with me, and let's open our Bibles up today. Now, I'm going to read from my Bible, so if you don't have one with you, or if you're in the car or somewhere else you can't get to your Bible, I'll be glad to read for us today. And we're studying Psalm 28. And Psalm 28 is this prayer, it's of David. It doesn't say prayer, psalm, miktam, none of that. It's just of David. So yesterday we talked about the mechanics of prayer. It's to the Lord, it's from me, it's my cry, and everything in life is dependent upon my crying out to the Lord, because it says, don't be silent to me, because if you're silent to me, then I'll be silent. So the Lord's answer is really a fount of life for the believer. Why is it that we dispense with praying? We know this to be true, that it is a fount of life for the believer. Why do we dispense with it? Why are we so cavalier about our prayer time? It's that important. Well, today we come back and he kind of doubles down in verse 2 on what he said there in verse 1. So we're going to read verses 2 and 3, and then in 3 we have this very vivid image that I want to talk about a little bit. So 2 and 3 today. Hear the voice of my supplications when I cry unto thee, when I lift up my hands toward thy holy oracle. Draw me not away with the wicked and with the workers of iniquity, which speak peace to their neighbors, but mischief is in their hearts. Wow. Okay, we'll get to 3 here in just a minute, but let's talk about what we have there in verse 2. Again, just like verse 1, unto thee will I cry. Here in verse 2, hear the voice of my supplications when I cry unto thee. So again, the supplications, it's personal, it's me. These are the things that are going on in my life. This is what I'm struggling with. Here's where the enemy's attacking me. Here's some of the things that I would love to see happen. Praying for the people in my life to be saved, to be healed, to be filled with the Spirit, for the ministry of the Word to go forward and advance. I mean, you fill the blank, right? In requests, there's so many. And David here is saying, hear my voice, my cry, when I lift up my hands toward thy holy oracle. So the holy oracle there, I think for David, is that place in Jerusalem where the ark was, right? He's praying there. For us, we're praying to the God in heaven, and the holy oracle would be there because Jesus is there at the right hand of the Father. So that's where we're praying. Remember what the Hebrew writer told us, that we walk into the Holy of Holies and we stand at the throne of grace and make our supplications. So we're lifting up our hands also to the Holy Oracle. But of course, we know that the Holy Oracle is a person, and his name is Jesus. And then we have verse 3, when he says, draw me not away with the wicked. Now, in my translation, I have, do not drag me away, which you go from, hear my voice, I'm lifting up my hands, and then he says, don't drag me away with the wicked. You see, there's a difference. There's the wicked and then there's the righteous. And the wicked are going to be drug off. And that's going to be the Lord's work. He's going to do that because they're being taken into judgment. Notice what he says there. Do not drag me away. Again, this is my translation. With the wicked or with the workers of iniquity. Same as what the King James has. Don't drag me away with the wicked, with the workers of iniquity, which, and then notice what describes them as wicked, they speak peace to their neighbor, but mischief is in their hearts. They're hypocrites. They're hypocrites. And not only are they hypocrites, but they're deadly hypocrites because they don't want peace. They want war. Remember the psalmist there, the first of the ascent psalms. He said, I dwell in Meshach, in the tents of Kedar, and when I speak for peace, they're for war. Well, these people speak peace, but in their heart, something else. And isn't it fascinating that we've been talking about prayer, and the psalmist is telling us about to who it's to the Lord. It's from me. I'm supplicating for the things that I need in my life, that all that I see that I need, because in His light we have light. So He's showing me those things that He wants me to pray about. There's life in it, because if I'm silent, if He's silent, then I'm silent. So there's life in the response of God to prayer. But then we come to these wicked, and what are they doing with their mouths? They're speaking peace, but it's a lie. And they're not speaking to the Lord. So boy, he draws this huge contrast between his speaking, which is to the Lord, and their speaking, which is to their neighbor, yet it's hypocrisy because there's mischief in their hearts. Oh my goodness. Well, tomorrow we're going to find out what happens. So join me tomorrow. We're going to read verses 4 and 5 here on Daily Dose Radio.